Hey yo, what's up guys? Mr. Rex here again doing another video for you guys today, and today I'm going to be bringing you guys my first review for 2020. This is going to be a new series of videos I'm going to be doing on my channel where I take a look back at models that were released some years ago and see if they still hold up to being as great as they were back in the day. And I figured that I would start out these reviews by reviewing a figure that is very sought after, it's a very scarce figure, and in my opinion it's definitely one of the best dinosaur figures ever made. It is on the Papo 2005 Tyrannosaurus Rex. Now to my knowledge, this is the first dinosaur figure that Papo ever released. I could be wrong about that, but from the research that I made, it is one of the very first figures that Papo has ever made dinosaur wise, and to be completely honest, it is one of their best figures in my opinion that they ever made. A lot of people were very excited when this figure was being released back in 2005 because it did resemble the Tyrannosaurus Rex that was seen in the Jurassic Park franchise. It is based loosely off of the Tyrannosaurus Rex buck from the Lost World Jurassic Park, and to be honest, it's a really good figure. It may not be accurate as most Tyrannosaurus Rex figures are nowadays due to the recent studies that have been made. To be completely honest with you, the detail does make up for that, and overall it's just a great figure in my opinion. For being one of the very first dinosaur figures that Papo ever made, the detail is really excellent on this figure. You can see the larger scales contrasting against the smaller scales. You can see these little scratches right here on the snout. There's a nostril right there. You can see the detail as well on these larger scales that surround the crest of the eye. There's wrinkles right here that makes the eye look very realistic. It's got a nice shine. And I do believe that on both sides the eyes are looking forward, so it does have binocular vision, which I really do like. I really love the details right here to stand out of this skin popping out. Just the scales, it all just looks really great on this head sculpt, especially when you start getting to these little ridges right here on the head that will lead to the neck. The only gripe that I really have with this figure is that the teeth are very blunt and chubby. They're not really that sharp. This would be something that would be fixed later on with the release of the brown version of this figure, which had a different head sculpt. But to be completely honest, it's just a minor gripe. Now, with most carnivore figures made by Papo, the jaw is articulated. And as you guys can see, the detail does not stop there because the detail inside the mouth is really great. Especially on the tongue as well, though you can barely see it. You can see there's a gloss also put on to these parts of the mouth, which makes it look very shiny, very wet. Especially along here, there's a glossy paint use on the outer trim of the lips, which looks really nice. I also really like the flanges right here. They're very nicely detailed in their gloss as well. So it's very nice. And the detail does not stop there, because as you can see on the neck here, you got all these folds and veins, which looks really nice, especially right here on the underside of the neck. I really love how it all just kind of scrunches together right here to show that the head's in movement. The detail on the underbelly is really nice as well. Here are the arms, which aren't really accurate. They should be a little bit shorter. And there's some muscles right here, which I think is really nice. But then again, like I said, this is based on the T-Rex seen in Jurassic Park, which at the time were considered very accurate to skeletal standards. But nowadays for studies, we know how Tyrannosaurus may have looked like. But, as I said before, this is still a great figure. Papo is very notorious for making detailed dinosaurs. And like I said, considering the fact that this is their first, it is very excellent. Just looking at the detail all around, the feet are really nice as well. In actuality, I do think that the skin would stretch out more underneath the claw, like how modern birds are nowadays. But again, for the time that this was made, it's still very nice. The detail is great, and everything on it just makes natural sense, like how all these wrinkles would be smunched up together right here because the tail is turning, how the muscles would look because of the way it's standing, how the scales on these sides are a little bit more faint than on this side because the neck is turning. Just overall, it's really nice. Right here, there's a slit right here for the dinosaur's cloaca, and even the soles of the feet are really nicely detailed. Everything is detailed on this figure, even the palms of the hands. You just gotta look around here. There's scales that you might not even notice. There's a faint indication of ribs here. It's just overall very nicely detailed, and I really do like this figure a lot. It's definitely one of my favorite models in my collection. The paint job as well in this figure is very nice. Like I said, it's based loosely off of the Tyrannosaurus Rex buck that we see in the Lost World Jurassic Park. And I really like the colors that they use. The greens, all the greens look great. You got a dark green running through with some light greens as well. With these, I'm assuming it's black stripes. It kind of looks like a very dark green, but they look really nice and they run all the way to this part of the tail. You can see it's got a very yellowy, kind of beigey look on the underbelly. The teeth are painted ivory color, as you can see. The flanges are painted a very fleshy color as well as on the tongue. The tongue is much darker than the rest of the mouth. And it's got like I said, it's got an over layer of gloss to make it look realistic. The teeth are an ivory color, which I really do like. The eye is gold and it's got a shine on it. There's some yellow greens used around the face. And the more airbrushing that they use on this, it gives off, details that, just pop out because of the way the paint job is used. And like I said before, this is a really, really great figure. The claws are painted a very dark gray. And it's very realistic. I really like the colors on this. And it's definitely, as I said before, probably one of the best models that Papo has ever made. Overall, this figure is very, very fantastic. And I really do like the details on it altogether. The paint is really nicely done. Like I said, the only gripe that I really have is just the teeth. And the stance I really like too. It's the victory stance that is used at the end of the Jurassic Park movie, where Rexy Roberta defeats the Velociraptors and stands proudly and roars. And I really do like this very, very proud stance that this T-Rex has. Now again, this is something that a dinosaur probably wouldn't be able to do in real life due to the way it was built, but the figure is already inaccurate, so I can understand why they would want to give it such a dynamic pose. And I think that, for Papo's figures, the detail is great, and they really do like getting creative with their figures by giving stances that, although might not, be accurate, they are pretty epic. I mean, some stances on some dinosaurs nowadays do look kind of ridiculous, but this is a very subtle stance. Again, it's not something that, it probably would do in real life. I mean, from what we know about T-Rex, it probably wouldn't even be able to stand like this or hold its weight out like this in real life. But like I said, this is definitely more of a creative figure than it is accurate-wise. And the creativity clearly shows. It's done amazing. I really like it. And in my honest opinion, it still stands up as being a very great figure, even from being made in 2005. It's a really great figure. I do recommend it if you find it. This figure is becoming very scarce lately, and prices are skyrocketing on this figure the more scarce it gets. But if you already have this figure, you already know what I'm talking about. And if you ever find it and it's for a reasonable price, I say get it while you can. Don't wait it out. It's definitely a good one. I picked up mine off of a seller on eBay who gave it to me for a very reasonable price. It's got a few scuffs on the claws and, some bits of paint, are like scratched off, but other than that, this is still a great figure and I'm very happy to have it. It's pretty much one of my favorite figures in my collection. So thank you guys so much for watching this review all the way, and I hope you guys really enjoyed it, and look forward to some more reviews. If you have any suggested reviews on figures that came out a long time ago that you would like to see me review, let me know down below. And yeah, so thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed it. This is Mr. Kai Direct signing out, and look forward to some more reviews for 2020. Alright, hope you guys have a good one, and stay awesome.